Hey guys, welcome back to the Gigabyte Esports Land. I'm GESL, joined by Zoya, and I just ate 3 pieces of pizza in record time, man.
Yes, that was very fast. At one point, he was like putting water in his mouth at the same time, with both cheeks.
I literally had like an entire slice of pizza in my mouth at once. Listen, I had to eat fast, man. I had to do some more casting. We had to get back to the StarCraft 2 action. We can't keep the players waiting.
No, not at all.
So we have Alicia. He's going to be going up against iSAxslav here. Should be pretty sick. Both the players are ready, man. So let's get it going.
Okay, and both players. Yep, we're getting started here. PvP on Metropolis. This is going to be a great game because Alicia, very solid player, taking second place at MLG, and we have iSAxslav, one of the most creative players out there, one of the fan favorites really because of his stream and just how good he is and consistent in events. Yeah,
and I mean, he's a nice guy. He does some cool commentary on his stream. But we are now in the game, so spawning on the right side of the map is the red Protoss, iSAxslav.
And his opponent on the left side of the map as the blue Protoss from Slayers, we have Alicia. Now, can you check for me real quick what the standings are in this group? I know iSAxslav was 1-1 earlier today, but I want to see how Alicia is doing compared to him now.
Okay, we will find that for you right now. Okay, iSAxslav is actually 2-1 right now. Alicia is 2-1. So if iSAxslav beats
Same
Alicia,
wins and losses as well.
Yeah, they're actually doing both really well. So I mean, iSAxslav, if he wins here, then he'll be second in the group. And then he has to play Tails, so theoretically, if he wins both, he can actually still get first in the group. But regardless, as long as iSAxslav wins, actually, no, he's guaranteed to get out of the group because he beat Daisuke and the Ognis already. So the worst he can do is tie, and he's already basically out.
Well, so this is going to be just for, that seeding into the tournament.
But that can be huge, man, because there are some monster players in here. I mean, well, speaking of monsters, we have Monster. We also have Dream. We have, like, all kinds of these top Koreans. We have Violet. We have all these players who have won, these tip-top international competitions. And you really, if you can avoid it, do not want to get them early in the bracket because it's single limb, man. You only get one shot.
Yes, it is, and you get knocked out. Like, top 4 go on to the championship bracket. Like you said, iSAxslav has pretty much secured his spot, but he still wants to win, get that better seed. Now, both players opening pretty standard here. Alicia getting his gas just a little bit faster than iSAxslav. Not too much of a difference there. Shouldn't be any too different in plays. It all comes down to when they get that second gas timing and then finally what kind of tech they go. Until then, PvP can just pretty much be the same unless they go for like 1 gate versus the 3 stalker rush. Yeah,
definitely. But I mean, for the most part, like as you said, they're not going to really ever want to reveal their tech before they get out that first stalker. I mean, there can be some situations where you can see the second gas versus the no second gas, things like that. So scouting still somewhat worthwhile. iSAxslav though is not going to scout. He doesn't care, man. And this is becoming more common in PvP. Players are just starting to feel that the information that they get is not worth the loss of the mining time. It's not worth the mineral income that they're losing because players really do just not reveal anything anymore, man. They just sit there and they don't show anything until that first stalker's out, and at which point your probe has to get out of there anyway. So, he's going to lose a little bit of mining here, but at the same time, I still like scouting because you can find, you get in the base, there's nothing there, you're getting proxy 2-gated, etc., etc. So it can pay off, and it's not really that much of a loss, especially for a player like Alicia, who probably considers himself a class above iSAxslav.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Liking the timing of iSAxslav gassing. This is a good map for it. We might be seeing the Stargate, the Phoenix 4-gate build. Casted Alicia doing it earlier today. It's actually one of the most popular builds in PvP right now on the Korean server. It's really fun timing. This is a good map for it as well. We'll have to see. We're seeing the 2-gate build from Alicia, wanting to go for that 3-stalker rush, get some map control, overwhelm his opponent. And yep, there we go, seeing that Stargate from iSAxslav.
Yeah, and not that surprising. Stargate play is really strong on any map that's really big like this, and we see that Alicia has already put down a proxy pylon down here in the third of iSAxslav, so May wanting to be able to get a little bit aggressive here. He's going to have the 3 stalkers out. You can have 2 more popping out after that, and then you have a warp-in right directly after that. So with 2 gates, you can actually get 7 stalkers ridiculously fast. And if your opponent isn't prepared for it, it can be really devastating.
We do see the Twilight Council going down for Alicia. 2 games I saw versus Tails with him, he actually went the Twilight Council tech. Blink is very popular in this matchup, but he actually went Dark Templar the 3rd game. Don't really see that much more. iSAxslav is prepared for any form of early aggression. He does have that sentry up. He can get the force field. First Phoenix is on the way as well. Just have to see how many more gateways he's willing to add down.
He's going to have to be careful, though, because this is honestly what Alicia is doing is kind of the counter tree. I mean, he may be going for DTs, in which case it could work out differently, but I think he's going to go for Blink. I mean, he has a lot of gas. It's hard to say. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what he's going to throw down. I mean, if he goes for a pure Blink Stalker, it could be pretty rough.
Ooh.
He gets one force field. He's going to be able to focus down a sentry, though, so maybe not the best trade there for iSAxslav. Might lose his Zealot. No, he's going to be able to pull back.
Warp Gate is just not done for him. It's getting so very close. He has enough for one more force field, though, so he will be fine. The Phoenixes are popping out. He's got 2 so far, a third one on the way.
Oh, he baits out that force field, though, man, and he has 2 more Zealots now warped in. So as soon as that finishes up, I mean, iSAxslav hasn't even morphed his guys into warp gates yet, and he's going to be able to get up the ramp here. I think he's going to have to pull the probes, and this could be so bad. Here come the Phoenixes. They're going to be able to pick up 1 Zealot, try to pick that off really quickly, but a lot of economic damage is being done here by iSAxslav, or to iSAxslav, rather. He's going to lose that Zealot again as he's retreating up the ramp. Another gateway is added on here from Alicia. He's going to warp in 2 additional Stalkers, and his blink is well on the way, man. 90 out of that 140-second research time.
The Phoenix have been shown, so he knows it. And it's always nice when you're already going Blink Stalkers when the Phoenix show up. That's kind of the blind counter to it. So Alicia has to be feeling pretty good. Here goes another force field going down. Blink's not done. There was no robotics facility, so we won't be seeing the Blink Observer play. The Phoenix are moving across the map. Does Alicia have Stalkers in his base just yet? No, he doesn't, but his Warp Gates are actually on. They just went on cooldown, so he's warping into Stalkers. So these Phoenix can do an okay amount of damage here. They have a good amount of energy.
Yeah, I mean, they can, but at the same time, you know, it's 3 isn't that scary. And the thing is, if he uses his lifts all on probes, he might just die because he like iSAxslav is now out of force fields, man. I'm not sure if he's gonna have another one in time. And if Alicia even gets 1 Stalker up, he's gonna be able to blink fully in. He's gonna go for it.
No.
The force fields are not ready. He's gonna be able to focus down all of those sentries that are on high energy. They were even on move command there for a second. He focuses down the warping in sentry, and this game is over, man. There's no way he can hold this off. More Zealots are coming in here, but there's just way too many Stalkers. He has the Blink Stalker micro available as well, and this is a problem. He doesn't have very many lifts left on his Phoenix, and that's what happens if you just go for the kind of counterattack like that. You have to use him defensively sometimes against these Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, they just did too much damage busting up there. Probes have been pulled. Stalkers have finally come back home, but at this point, there's just too many Blink Stalkers. His control from Alicia, pretty spot on. Look at the rainbow color of health from these Stalkers. Nice still at flank there. Probes taking a lot of damage there. Look at supply 50 to 31. Even plummeting more. 19 probes have been killed. And yeah, this is looking really bad for iSAxslav. Alicia looking like he's going to be taking game 1 very quickly here. And there's the GG. Yeah,
GG is called. And I mean, like, it's a little unfortunate for iSAxslav. Going Stargate against somebody who's straight into Blink Stalkers, you know, that definitely isn't something you want to see. You still can win. It's not like completely over if that does happen. But at the same time, I think iSAxslav, having seen that many Stalkers, shouldn't have committed that much into Phoenix. Generally speaking, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can hold back, but you usually want to go across the map as soon as you get 3 Phoenix, no matter what. You can go with your first one and scout out what they're doing, but that allows them a chance to respond. But regardless, I think you should have stopped at 3, going quickly into the Robo, because if you get an Immortal or 2 out in conjunction with the Zealots and the Sentries, then you can definitely hold that off, and you can use that to see an expansion while having your Phoenixes out for map presence, harassing the mineral line, etc., etc. But when you go up to 4, 5, 6 Phoenix, then your Robo is so delayed, you just don't have enough gas to be able to get those additional units that you need to hold off those Blink Stalkers.
The key problem I saw was that iSAxslav was just kind of blindly keeping those force fields up. There were a couple times where Alicia wasn't even getting close to pushing. If he would have saved up that energy, 4 sentries can permanently lock off a base if you time them right, but he was just kind of just blindly force fielding. If he would have saved that a little better, he would have been fine. But we're going to go a quick commercial break, guys, before we get into game 2. You're watching the Gigabyte Esports LAN located at Cal Poly Pomona. I am Zoya, and with me is Zay, and we'll see you guys in 60 seconds. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Gigabyte Esports Land. I'm GESL, joined today by Zoya, and we're going to be casting Game 2 here of iSAxslav, going up against Alicia. Alicia's up 1-0 after taking that Game 1 with some nice Blinkstalker play. But we're going to be going into Game 2 here on Cloud Kingdom. Players are ready, so we can get it going. We are starting the game. The countdown has begun. Should be pretty good. Yeah,
I can't wait. Both these players very good. Just a little bit of it was really nice timing there from Alicia. It's always nice when you blindly counter your opponent's build. Blinkstalkers are, the counter to Phoenix, and iSAxslav didn't play that as well as possible. We'll have to see what he does this game. So spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map as the blue Protoss from Team Infinity 7, we have iSAxslav.
Yep, and his opponent going to be spawning here in the top right. It's the red Protoss Slayers Alicia.
Do you think? This is you're the pro. I believe you said you're Protoss.
I play random.
Oh, you play random. Okay, so I don't play Protoss at all. It's the one race I don't play. Why do you think iSAxslav chose this map?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different stuff you can do on this map. It's generally pretty standard for PvP, but it's one of those maps that it's not really like, okay, like for example, if you pick Tal'Darim, you want a 4-gate. If you pick Belshir Beach, you want a 4-gate. There's maps like that, and then there's also certain maps that are extremely good for expanding. But like a map like Metropolis, you can expand relatively easily if you want to do so. Whereas this map, it's open to interpretation. You can play it so many different ways, so I feel like he just wants a standard map. He wants to play a standard game, feel out his opponent, and just kind of play very reactive, because this map doesn't really lend itself to like any sort of particular strategy, in my opinion. This
map is kind of like a Tiga Shipyard, in my opinion. You get to do the Blink Observer builds that a lot of players like to do. This is a very wide entrance, as we can look here, to iSAxslav's main. So many different vantage points you can blink from. Harass that natural if he goes for a fast expansion. Plenty of places to blink in with that observer. It's a really nice map in general. I like how you described it. Now we do have the gateways going down a little bit quicker there for Alicia. iSAxslav going for a 14 gate. Alicia doing the standard timing there, getting gas at the same time though, so relatively normal build. I was kind of hoping to see this tournament the very quick 11 gate into a fast 3 gate, kind of like a 4 gate would be done, but with the 11 gate with a 3 gate at timing. It's kind of popular on the Korean server right now. It's a lot of fun to see, but happy to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a super fast warp gate research with that build, but the downside is that your economy is so much worse behind it. Whereas like what Alicia did, he went for the 12 gate, which is fine, but you can't spam Chrono Boost on your probes if you're going for a 12 gate because you don't have the minerals. Whereas iSAxslav took that 13 gate, and by delaying it that little bit, you can continuously Chrono Boost on your probes and get a little bit of a worker advantage. And we can see he's up 1 worker. Last game he was up 2 workers very early just because he was continuously chronoing on those probes, and players are realizing more and more that you can get away with a little bit of a later warp gate research as 4 gates kind of becoming less and less common.
Yep, that's a very good point, and we see that iSAxslav went for a very fast second gas here, a little bit quicker than normal. He started that second gas right, but even before the first gas was finished. Alicia getting his standard gas here, but like we discussed during Game 1, as everyone says, you don't really know what someone could be doing until you see that tech. PvP is just so blind at that point, and yeah, LOL crowd is pretty loud today, man.
Yeah, they love their League of Legends, man, and who can blame them? It's a cool game.
Yeah, it is.
So we have a Zealot coming out here, followed up by the Sentry from iSAxslav, and honestly, to me, that screams Stargate once again. So I definitely think we will be seeing Stargate play out of iSAxslav again, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to make some adjustments this time, if he's able to kind of change some things up to have that work a little bit better. And once again, so Stargate coming down, and that's something that Alicia, if he pokes back in and he sees a Sentry, it's kind of a giveaway. So we'll see. Is he going to poke back in there? He's going to see the Zealot. He is going to see the Sentry. So yeah, I mean, I feel like he might just go straight into Blink again.
It's looking like that. He's doing the 3-stalker rush. Blink is a good follow-up. He's only got 2 guys in one of his gas, though, so he's got a little timing he's working out here. We'll have to see what he wants to do with that. But, yep, there's the Twilight Council. Yeah. But, I mean, iSAxslav is one of those stylistic players that you can always rely on to do that one thing they like to do. Like, if you would have said Phoenix early beta and then towards release, you would think Noni. He's the one who developed the Phoenix play, did it in all matchups, really did it well there. And now iSAxslav, you want to see him play, you want to see Phoenix play, watch him do it. He does Phoenix all the time, and he's done it 2 games in a row here against Alicia.
Yeah, it definitely has, and we'll see if he transitions out of it a little bit better this time, because there's not going to be any waiting for Alicia. He's putting down a second proxy pylon. He's just going to warp in offensively, start trying to bait out those force fields, and start trying to get the damage really done here. He's going to be up to 5 stalkers almost immediately. So it's like if he pokes up, there's 3 sentries in a Zealot. The Zealot's really the only damage dealer there, man. I feel like you want to have another Zealot out at this point, because if he goes up, all he has to do is kill the Zealot, and then even if he got force fielded off, it wouldn't matter because sentries don't do damage.
We have a DT Shrine
wow.
someplace coming here from Alicia. Like I said, he did it once versus Tails. We don't really think of DTs anymore when you see the Twilight Council. He's doing that. There's no robotics facility. Now, it comes down to that point where you're talking about last game, where do you send that first Phoenix across the map to get the scout, risk your opponent knowing what you're doing, or do you wait? And if he scouts it soon, he should be able to get that robo up in time and force field his ramp continuously. He's doing a great job here. He does have 3 sentries. Energy's getting kind of low, though.
And he is going across, and it's like, if your sentries are seen, you should always send your Phoenix across the map to scout, because the thing is, it's really obvious what you're doing. He's going to continuously force field away here. He should have enough to do that for quite some time. He's going to get in there and see the Dark Shrine just now. So when will the robo go down? I really assume he's clicking on that. He definitely should. Okay, he's going to cancel the gateway, put down a robo immediately. Oh, but he lets 2 Zealots up at the same time, and he's going to take a ton of damage to Zealot. Oh my god, he gets the warping on the high ground. That's beautiful with the pylon, and this might just be the end. He needs to throw down another force field. If he loses that sentry, it's going to be lights out, and he's backing up. He gets down 1 more force field, but he just needs to keep his Zealot alive until he can get 1 more warpman, and the game will end. He brought in another sentry, but it's like, he can't engage this, man, and 2 more Zealots. Oh my god, he got DTs in the base. The robo isn't done. This is over. He can't even complete it. 2 DTs hitting it. Yep, GG.
Yeah, it came down to those force fields again. If he could have kept the fort ramp constantly force fielded, he would have been able to deny the DTs. But that one getting up there, he had enough energy. He just looked away from the or from the ramp just 1 second too late. It just that's how it goes, man.
That can happen with Phoenix, man, because you have to be active on the map. They're not good to just sit around with. It's like,
a lot of mic. You need a lot of APM for this build.
Yeah, you definitely do need to be out there on the map doing the damage with those Phoenix, harassing the mineral lines, scatting things out. But that pylon placement was so nice. It was so good.
Oh, that was brilliant. I did not see the warping working into the main base.
I mean, he gets the 1 Zealot up. He warps in 2 more Zealots, uses them to just tank the damage, holds them back, not really overcommitting or losing them, allowing him to continuously have that high ground vision, and just continue to warp in there. And then 2 more DTs come in, and it's lights out, because DTs kill the robo a lot faster than builds. He's never going to get that observer
Even with
out.
the decreased observer time, it's still he just needed to hold on a couple more seconds, and he would have been fine. It all comes on those force fields. It's an upset, but like we discussed, iSAxslav still should be safe in his group, because Daisuke and who was the other one?
I can't remember, but
2 players in his group were
maybe Mystic or something.
Yes, Mystic. They were both 0-2, so he's still safe. But we have more games to cast, and again, it's for seeding as well, so he still wanted to win that.
Well, and he can still beat Tails. Tails is going to be the last Protoss versus Protoss. They're going to have that matchup still. And iSAxslav, his favorite matchup is PvP, so he still has a really good chance. Obviously, Phoenix Field's not working out for him here. And I wonder if he's going to mix it up in that next PvP, because I feel like, if Tails talks to this guy, if they talk, a lot of the Korean players are pretty friendly. They could be like, well, he just goes to Phoenix, just go Dark Shrine, or just go Blinkstalkers or whatever, So it could be pretty tough for him to use those 2 builds the same again. But regardless, he must be pretty confident that it was going to work out, because he just continuously did it. But that's going to be it for us tonight, guys, or for now, rather. We will go to a commercial break here, and then I think some more casters will step in.
It'll be actually me and Caliber on the stream, Caliber Light.
Okay, cool. Well, that should be really fun, guys. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. I'm EGSL. You can follow me on Twitter at EGSL.
And I'm Zoya. You can follow me on Twitter at ZoyaStarcraft. And I think that's it. So we'll see you guys in 60 seconds. Stay tuned.
Cheers.